Welcome back to my channel. My name is Rachel, that is the R in the RK Stumbling Bear, and I'm a reader and a writer. And I'm back today to talk about the semifinalists for the self-published science fiction contest, at least the ones that my team is going to be reading. So my team is Ground to Major Tom, and the semifinalists that we are passing on with an 8.4 rating out of a 10-point scale, we have St. Elspeth by Wick Welker. And with an 8 out of 10, we have Yours Celestially by Al Hess. Now I do want to say for the other ones that didn't make it, this was super close. For the other four, their average scores was 2 were 7.9, 1 was a 7.8, and the lowest was a 7.7. So they were like neck and neck the whole time for our team. We had a great batch of books. So how does the semifinalist section work? So in the semifinalist section, we have 3 teams that are sort of combined, whereas we all are assigned the same 6 books. Now, of course, 2 of those books are the ones from our own team, so we only have to read 4 more books. We are joining the Prospectors and SFF Insiders. Now I'm going to do a caveat here. Due to authors and family members behaving badly, the judging team, SFF Insiders, recused themselves from the competition, I think in December or January, because they were getting a lot of hate and being doxxed. Basically, if you're a self-published author or a family member of one, behave yourself, especially if you're in a contest with volunteer judges. We do this out of love, not because we're getting paid or any monetary reward. Don't be rude. Just had to say that. Before they left, they did announce their 2 semifinalists, so we are reading them because the authors deserve that. Let's find out about the other 4 books I now get to read during the semifinalist process. I don't know much about them because I didn't have the time to look at what all the other teams were reading ahead of time. The first one we're going to talk about is The Murder Algorithm by Wilson Kincaid. And I'm going to look kind of over here at my computer because I have the synopsis of the book. In a not-so-distant future where social media broadcasts people's lives 24 hours a day, Roman Glass is broadcast killing the #1 media star. Now Roman must race against the clock to unravel a web of deceit as he fights to prove his innocence. Social media investigator Ray Detmer unearths a sinister series of seemingly unrelated murders connected by the invisible threads of the digital realm. So for those of you who did not think that social media was scary, think again. Then continuing with scary, the next one we're going to talk about is Eat by Jessie Brown, and I am not a big fan of snakes, so gorgeous cover, but gives me the shivers. And the synopsis for this one is, Terry and his team made a discovery that will change the course of human evolution forever. Instead of celebrating, he puts a gun to his mouth and pulls the trigger. Katie is all set to complete her master's degree, refresh her dating profile, and finally join the land of the living. Instead, she wakes up surrounded by dead bodies and ferocious monsters. Kai waits anxiously for his sister to return from the world's longest night shift. Ravi hides under a desk in his office, and Effia lays unconscious in a garage. Recently dumped Jonathan drinks himself to death in an empty apartment. The end can't arrive quickly enough, until a grisly attack sends him stumbling into the path of Katie and all the horrors of an apocalyptic London. So if you like apocalyptic sci-fi, this is probably for you. Not normally my favorite genre, but there's been times that I've liked it. Again, this cover, freaky. However, if you follow the Chinese lunar years, this is the year of the snake, so it seems kind of appropriate to read a book with the snake on the cover. Next we have Whiskey and Warfare by E.M. Hamill. Marin Alessi retired from mercenary service after her last assignment went horribly sideways and settled down on a quiet planet with the love of her life. Unexpectedly widowed, Marin must fulfill a promise to return her mate's ashes to their home planet for funeral rites, but a brutal civil war has destabilized space travel. Former Artemis Corps sisters-in-arms and their sassy ship, the Golden Girl, are up to the task, counting on luck and their rather sketchy cargo business to get Marin passage through the contested starlings. But when the crew of the Girl rescues survivors of a ruthless war crime, Marin and her ride-or-die friends must take up their old profession to save the lives of innocents from a genocidal dictator. To me, this screams space opera all over, and that is one of my favorite subgenres of science fiction, so I'm very excited about this one. And then the last of the new to me books for the semifinalist is Wakers of the Cryo Crypt by Nathan Kuzak. The future. The human race is extinct. Earth is ruled by Eltecs, descendants of the AIs humans created before their demise. While searching for prehistoric cave paintings, two Eltec explorers discover a hidden cryogenic crypt containing 23 perfectly preserved human bodies frozen inside crystal columns. As Eltec society argues over who might have built the crypt and what to do with it, one of its occupants is restored to life. Human beings are no longer extinct, but for reasons of their own, not every Eltec wants to see them come back. The only living human on Earth is in terrible danger. Kind of a reverse of a popular sci-fi trope where AI is trying to say, we will bring humanity back from the brink of extinction and have a model society. Instead, they're going to be like, yeah, we really don't want you back. So, but those are the 4 books that I will be reading. From what I have been told, I have until May 30th to get my scores in. So that gives me 2 months. If you have read any of these books, I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions. And if you haven't, I'd like to know which of the 4 new books do you think I should pick up first? Which one sounds most interesting to you? Thank you, and have a great day.